Hello everyone, welcome to Brownware Animation. For details, you can check out the description of this video and Brownware Animation website. So let's start learning small things to achieve big goals. In this video, we are going to look at the strongest key in the Zbrush, which is the control key, which basically control all the major kind of functions which you will be doing in the Zbrush while sculpting. So as the name suggests, control key is kind of related to many different shortcuts for working in Zbrush, and some of them are like applying Dynamesh or making polygroup or separating something. So if you have seen my tutorial video, which is 1.5 hour course kind of thing, so if you have seen that video, you will find out that I have used some combination with the control keys, Ctrl Shift keys. Those combinations help me to pose these kinds of nails and separate different parts while sculpting the model. So for that and many more shortcuts are also there. So for those things I am making this video so that you will get the idea of the shortcuts and the processes which you can use with the control and the combination of the control keys with the other keys. So when you will start using control and the combination of the keys with the control key, you will definitely feel that your workflow is getting fast. So this thing is important. I hope you will get it, and if you will get any doubt at any stage, just let me know in the comment section. I will try to help you out. So first we will start with the masking feature, which is almost totally controlled with, you can control with the control key. So I will be saying control a lot of time in this video, so bear with me, because this video is all about control key usage in Zbrush. If you are seeing my other videos, you will be aware of this thing, that you can just hold control and your mask brush will get activated and you can just mask on your model. So this is the first one. Like these things are related to masking features. So I will be telling you this thing related to the masking feature. So this is the first thing. Control hold control on your keyboard, then just mask out on your mesh, the selected mesh. Then you can hold Ctrl Alt and remove the mask. Then Ctrl Alt, tap on the mesh, you will sharpen the mask. Ctrl Alt, tap on the mesh, you will sharpen the mask. Ctrl Alt, tap on the mask area, you will sharpen the mask. This is the same thing. Control hold, tap on the empty area of the canvas, you will invert the mask. Then control hold, tap on the mask area, you will blur the mask. And also if you will hold control and you will see mask pen here, and if you go to this button, you will see that there are different options. You can use mask pen, mask curve, mask circle, mask lasso. Mask lasso is also useful. If you select that, then you can just control and do lasso selections like this. So it will be a lasso selection. Earlier it was default is like mask pen, so you can use this thing also. If you have mask applied on the mesh, you can remove the mask by just holding control and dragging on the canvas. Like if you have mask applied over here, you can just control and drag on the empty area of the canvas, the mask will get removed. Then the second point, this thing I have been using in my videos a lot of time. So let's see that feature. That is, by holding control, if you have a subtool selected, by holding control and by activating Gizmo, you can hold control and just drag out this thing and you will get a duplicate of this thing. Like a subtool, you can get a duplicate, or the other subtool will be masked. You can later on remove the mask and use it, but you can duplicate the subtool by holding control on your keyboard and just dragging out the mesh. Let's say if I like to get this horns duplicated, I can just control hold and drag it out. I will get a duplicate of this thing. And you will see that when you go to polyframe option, this button or Shift F is the shortcut. You will see that these are different polygroups. You can separate them later on. You can, by just going to the split option, you can separate the polygroups. Here is the option mask points, split mask point. You can separate the mask point. These are the mask points, you can separate it. So this is one of the second feature of the control key. So next is Next one is simple. For dividing your mesh, you can just press Ctrl D. This is the shortcut for dividing your mesh. Right now these meshes are dynameshed, so you will not be able to see what's the difference in this thing. But let's say I will show you in the eyes. Like right now you can see these polyframes are there, and let me delete the higher resolution. Then these polyframes are there. So if you just press divide button, these things will divide. The thing is, this is getting smoother. See, this is getting smoother. These polyframes are getting divisions. But let's say if I want a shortcut, I don't want to go to this geometry tab and just do the division. So I can just see, you will see that I can just press Ctrl D on the keyboard, and I will be able to apply divisions onto a mesh. So this is the third thing which I wanted to tell. You can divide the mesh by Ctrl D. Ctrl D is the shortcut for this divide, which is over here. You can divide any of your mesh by just Ctrl D, or you can go to this button also, but Ctrl D is the shortcut. So this was the third thing. Now fourth thing is Ctrl Shift combination. This is the kind of most important one which I wanted to tell all of you guys, that Ctrl Shift combination will definitely help you in many ways. For this model, I have used that combination for posing these nails, posing these hands, and many more stuff in this thing. So I will show you that how it works. First, you know that by going to this polyframe button, you can just turn on and off your polyframe. And if I just tap on the line option, you will see that line option is like, it's a little icon. You can see that on the polyframe button, you can see a line word is written. You can just tap on it and you can just turn on and off. So basically it will just remove the kind of wireframe overlay which is over there, like which is onto the on top of this, on top of your mesh. So you can just hide the lines, so you will be left with the colors. These are the polyframe colors. Okay, these are the polygroups basically. So for separating these polygroups, you can just easily go to the Ctrl Shift button on a keyboard and just hold it. And if you will see that there is a select rect brush selected, so you can just hold Ctrl Shift on your keyboard, tap on the one polygroup. You will see that this polygroup is getting separated. Okay, so if you separate this polygroup, then again Control is for mask. You can hold Control and mask, apply mask on this thing. Then if you hold Ctrl Shift and drag on the empty of the canvas, see that polygroup which was earlier isolated it's hidden now. So you can see that the other polygroups are visible now, and these things are in single subtool. You can see there is a single subtool, and these things are in a single subtool, but different polygroups are there. So you can just, now that masked thing is there, like that nail is masked and these are unmasked, so you can just hold Ctrl Shift and tap, and this thing will be visible. So after this, we want to change this nail, so we will just hold Ctrl again and invert the mask. So see, Ctrl Shift, this thing is, if you get hang of this thing, it will be very helpful for you guys. So you can see now this nail is unmasked. So just press W for the gizmo and just press this small pivot icon, and you will just, your gizmo will just snap to the nail or the unmasked polygroup, and you can just pose it. This is how I have used last video. I have just masked these things separately, and I have posed these nails. I will show you again. Let's say if I want to separate this nail, or if I want to pose this nail, but I have everything in a single subtool, then I have to apply, like I have to have these polygroups. You can just go to the polygroup option and you can just apply auto group. So these things will get auto grouped. Then now you can just go to the polyframe. You can see from here, and by default it's like this. You can just turn off the line by clicking on this small line button. Then the thing is, you just have to hold Ctrl Shift, tap on your polygroup, it will get isolated. It will get isolated, like other polygroup in the subtool will get hidden. Then just apply the mask. Simple masking I have told you in the first place. Just hold Ctrl and tap. It will apply mask, or you can just hold Ctrl and brush over it like default. You can just hold Ctrl and brush over it if you want. But there's one thing also, that you can just hold Ctrl and tap on the mesh. The thing will get masked. Then after that you have to make all the other polygroup visible. So for making that, Ctrl Shift and tap. Everything will get visible. And if you want to invert this thing, like earlier I used this thing, Ctrl Shift and drag. The thing which was visible before, it's got hidden. Now other things are visible. So if you drag Ctrl Shift, with Ctrl Shift if you drag, this green box will appear and you will see that these things getting inverted. This is also helpful, but if you want to make everything visible, just Ctrl Shift and tap. Everything will get visible. Now we have to invert the mask. So that is the control key feature for the masking thing. So just hold Ctrl and tap, the mask will get inverted. And with the gizmo, press W for the gizmo and just press this pivot icon. And you can see this is getting snapped, and you can just rotate things. And you can just pose things. Other things are masked, so nothing will change. Because this feature is important, I have used it many times. So make sure to get this thing clearly, or practice by yourself 2-3 times. So it will be helpful for you. And I will show you again, because this is the important thing. If you if I want this nail to be out from the body, right now it's intersecting the body, we can just tap and it will zoom from here. This is also a ZBrush feature. When you are zooming in and you are not properly able to zoom, right now it's zooming in from this point, but if I want to zoom it from this point, I can just tap on it anyhow, just tap on it, and the pivot will get, zoom pivot will get shifted to this point. Now it will be zooming from here. I want to zoom here, I just tap on this mesh, and now if I will zoom, I will just zoom it from this point. So right now I want to make this nail out of the body. So for that, Ctrl Shift, tap on the polygroup, it will get isolated. Then mask it, Control and tap on the empty area of the canvas, it will get masked. Then if I want to make everything visible, Ctrl Shift, tap on the empty area of the canvas, everything will get visible. But if I want to invert this polygroup selections, I will just Ctrl Shift and drag on the canvas, it will get inverted. But if I want to make everything visible, Ctrl Shift, tap, everything will get visible. And if I want to right now invert the mask so that I can change this nail, I will just Control and tap on the canvas, empty area of the canvas, and you can see the mask is getting inverted. Now if I press F and I was like this, if I am zoomed in, and if I want to if I will press F, everything will get in frame. Then pivot icon, then your pivot will get shifted, and you can just adjust this nail. Everything is masked, so nothing will change, only this nail will change. So you can see by doing this, we have changed this nail pose. You can do this thing with the horns also. Let's select this horns. Right now these are same polygroups. If I will go to polygroup option, auto group, and you can see they are now different color. Default is like this. If I turn on the line, you can turn off the line also. So if I want to separate this, Control Shift and separate. This one got isolated. Then if I want to just pose this thing, I can pose this thing also separately. But if I want to do something else, I can just click and mask this thing, Control and tap on the empty area of canvas to mask this thing. Then after that, I will tap again, Control Shift, tap on the canvas, everything will be visible, and invert the mask, and then I can change this thing. If I want to change this thing, I can easily change this thing. And Control and drag, mask will get removed. So this was the most important thing which I wanted to tell you about the Control Shift combination and Control key. Now the fifth thing is Fifth thing is the Dynamesh option. Let's say if you have this subtool selected and you have two different polygroups, or you have applied Dynamesh onto it, just go to the geometry menu, then Dynamesh option. Right now Dynamesh is applied. So if I, let's say, reduce the Dynamesh resolution, and I have reduced the Dynamesh resolution, but I am not seeing any changes, and I can't just go tap on and off. I can do that, but if you don't want to do that, there's a option. You can just hold Ctrl and drag on the empty of the canvas. Your Dynamesh will get applied. Right now it's not applying because we have to at least do some changes in the mesh so that it will get applied. See, I just moved it a little. Then if I hold Ctrl and just drag on the empty of the canvas, the Dynamesh got applied, and you can see for this I don't have to turn on this on and off this thing for applying the Dynamesh. I will do Ctrl Z, and let's say if I do any changes, let's say if I am not in any menu, but if I go and see that I have applied Dynamesh, and if I am continuously making changes onto a mesh, some changes onto a mesh, and if I just want to Dynamesh the mesh again, I will just hold Ctrl and drag on the canvas. The Dynamesh will get applied. You don't have to go to the geometry menu, then Dynamesh option, then just turn on and off this thing. You don't have to do that. So this was the fifth thing. Now let's move on to the sixth point, which I wanted to share. Right now you have two polygroups. You can see the different, you can see with the different color, and this line option, you can on and off this line option. Now it's properly visible. So you can see these two have different colors. But let's say right now, if I go to polygroup, we can do auto groups. And other options are there. I will be making videos about this polygroup options like separately later. But right now, if I go to this thing, you can see these things are separate polygroups. But if I want to make it a single polygroup, I will just hold Ctrl and W. It will make a single polygroup. And same goes for the separate polygroup. For that you have to make mask. So if you hold Ctrl and drag, you will be creating a mask on top of this mesh. And if you hold Ctrl W, you will see that the mask point now have a different polygroup. So the thing is, Ctrl W is a shortcut for creating polygroups. And you can just hold Ctrl and drag on the canvas. If the Dynamesh option is turned on, you can continuously apply Dynamesh on top of this mesh. I will be doing Ctrl Z because that was original mesh. This, you can apply Dynamesh again and again if you want. So right now I have told you about the Ctrl W. Ctrl W will be very helpful for making polygroups. Like Ctrl W, these things will get like combined polygroup. And if I want to separate it, I will want to make a separate subtool, I can just use Ctrl Shift also. Ctrl Shift. Right now it won't work because these both have the same polygroup. For that I have to hold Ctrl and drag a mask on top of this polygroup and just Ctrl W. It will get a different polygroup and I can just isolate it if I want. See. So Ctrl W was a shortcut for making polygroups. Then kind of also very important step is by holding Ctrl, if you hover on any button, any menu, anything on the canvas of, like on the UI of Zbrush, you will be able to see a short description about that particular button or particular option. You will be able to read it out. This is the most important thing which will be very helpful for you to learn Zbrush buttons, what those buttons are doing. There's a small description which you can read by holding Ctrl and just hovering on top of your any buttons, menus and everything. You can see these small dialogues are coming out. Like you can read this, what those options will do and what you will be expecting from those buttons. So this is also a very, very handy and very good thing for the beginner artist. Next option is, if you hold Ctrl Alt on a keyboard, This option will help you to create any shortcut for any of these buttons which are there in the UI. So and that will store that shortcut for default. Let's say I have made a for this solo button, I have made a shortcut. I have made a shortcut which is C button on my keyboard. So if I want to change this thing, you just have to hold Ctrl and tap on that button, and you will see that press any button combination to assign custom key. Like you can assign a hotkey for your this button. You can just press that key which you want to make the shortcut. You can just press, like for me it was C. I just press C. Now this button has a shortcut which is C. So for making a hotkeys in ZBrush, you can just hold Ctrl and Alt, tap on any button. Like for this expose, let me make a new key. I will just press Ctrl and Alt and tap on this button. I will see this option over there. Sometimes it doesn't work. You can see you can apply hotkeys. For applying hotkey, you just have to press any button on a keyboard which is available for making hotkey, and that hotkey will be assigned. So Shift, Ctrl, Alt and tap on any button. That will help you to make hotkey or shortcut for your option which you want to make. So that is as for assigning custom hotkey. And let's say I have told these things to you very early on in the process, and there's also a blog onto this channel. This is related to this canvas, new canvas thing. So if you are in this kind of mode and you don't know what to do, so then in this situation also Control will also help you. Control N and you will get a new canvas. Right now I have to select a sphere. Let's say I am selecting a sphere, and if I am dragging it and I don't know that I have to press T button for going into the edit mode. So if I don't know that, I will be doing this thing again and again. So if I want to if I press T button now, still these things will be there on the canvas, and you will be able to rotate this last stroke, but not all the things. So for clearing out all the things, you have to just press Ctrl N. So for making the canvas new canvas. So this is also a shortcut which you can use with the Ctrl N. This was the shortcut which I have told you about Control key, and there are more. Believe me, there are more. When I was researching to make this video, I found out that there are more options which you can use with the combination of control and different keys. So Control is a kind of very powerful button in ZBrush. With the combination of this button and other buttons, you can do many shortcuts. But for now, I have pointed out these kind of most important, you can say, which I mainly use. So make sure to get these options properly. And if I believe that if you get these shortcuts which I have already told you, if you are able to use them fluently, that is enough. If you ask me, that is more than enough for you to get the things. So I have told you about the 10 control key shortcuts which you can use, and Control is very powerful. So make sure to remember this thing. And if you have any doubt, any question, any query, or if you want to appreciate this video, just let me know in the comment section. Don't shy away. And if you can like and subscribe the channel, that will be also motivating for me. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this video helped you, and if this helped you, you can help me to watch this video or subscribe, anything, whatever you feel like. Just do that, and keep in mind that Ctrl Shift is Ctrl Shift option which I have told you on the fourth place or third place. Make sure to get that. If you are learning from my videos, make sure to get that option properly. And if you have any doubt, just let me know in the comment section. Stay tuned for more videos, and always remember, start making something small to achieve your big goals. Thank you. See you soon in the next video. Thanks for watching the full video.